Hi. Thanks so much for joining me. I recently have realized that I kind of love containers. I don't know if it's the fact that my subconscious really wants me to be organized or what it is, but I've kind of become a collector of containers, if you will. Some of these containers range from intricate containers and rather elaborately designed containers, cloth containers. I consider pretty much anything that holds something to be a container. So, intricately designed containers. To recycled containers. And even nice looking containers that can also serve a practical purpose. So I'll be showing you all different kinds of containers, even more so than this, and then maybe I'll be able to convince you that I'm kind of a hoarder of containers. So I hope that you enjoy this. So the first container, the first category of elaborate or intricately designed containers is this special little guy. I found this container, I think last summer, when I was at what was it? It was an open house, I think, for a house that was for sale. And it was an estate sale as well. So this just kind of caught my eye because I love to travel. And I really love that there's like a map here, if you can see it. And then it's just got a bunch of other cool stuff. Like these palm trees. It just really looks like whoever owned this really had a love of travel. I really like how intricate of a design the handle is as well. And I'll zoom in a little bit, or focus a little bit. It's really pretty. I think it's just really intricate. And I like this little star flower thing. I'm a huge fan of antiques and older looking items. I like modern to an extent, but there's just something so magical about looking at something that was made more than 2 or 3 years ago. Just it becomes more one of a kind the older it is. And I just really like the story that it might have to tell inside of it. The inside is a brown velvety kind of color. It smells old too. So, that is the first container that I have. I like to keep little knickknacks in here. Knickknacks that I have either found at other garage sales that I feel like really have an interesting history, even though I don't know anything about it, or little presents or gifts that friends or family or loved ones have gotten me from their travels abroad. So that is the first one. And now we're going to see the one that I first introduced. This lovely hand-carved brown box. I have had this for as long as I can remember. I remember I started putting just old coins in it, but then when friends or family went abroad and brought me actual coins that were not from America, I decided to put them in here. And there's also a money clip that's really interesting. I don't actually know if what this is. It looks like it's maybe an Aztec money clip. It was made in Mexico. And there are some other coins in here. It looks like some pence, maybe some francs. But this is about the container, not about the coins. I've seen quite a few boxes like this at farmers markets and stuff, so I don't know exactly how one of a kind it is, but I don't much care. It's gotta be kind of one of a kind if it's hand carved, but I just think it's absolutely beautiful. actually, I think that this box inspired me to make my essential oils box that you can see in my All About Essential Oils series. Some of those videos it's included. So it's a very inspirational little box, and I really like it. The next one is this. I don't know, I guess it's closer to being a sachet, even though it's still not even really a sachet. It's just kind of a I don't know. It's what is this? Just a little case, I guess, but I consider anything to hold other objects to be a container. I got this a few years ago from a friend of mine that probably sparked my interest in the scent combination of lavender and vanilla, because this kit was a like help you get to sleep kind of kit, and so it included lavender vanilla spray to spray on your sheets and your linens and your pillow, and it included some body wash, I believe, and some bubble bath. And yeah, I just really liked the colors and the twirly thingies. It reminded me of India because of the henna tattoos. I'm not very knowledgeable. I feel like each video you learn how little I really know about things, but that's okay. I see something I like and I can't really explain it. I just know that I really like it. But I am trying to get more knowledgeable on those things. Okay, so that's pretty much all about it for this one. Okay, so this next one is in the category of nice but still practical. As you can see, it's a little bit dirty, and the reason for that is because I used to put little beads in here. I just took them out recently because I'm packing everything up since I'm moving. I might have already moved by the time this video comes out, FYI. But I put little beads in it, and it's actually something that I learned from one of the very first videos that triggered my ASMR, and that caused me to keep on searching on YouTube until I eventually found the ASMR community. So anyway, what you do is you put a bunch of small little beads, like ones that you would put in a fake flower vase, in a vase for fake flowers, and then you put your makeup brushes into them, and that way they're really accessible and they stick straight up, and so they're easy to find. So that's what I did, and I will do after I get this back from my move. I'm shipping a lot of things, so I won't see it for about 6 to 8 weeks. But I really love it because it's glass, and I really like that it's square. It's just, I think it's really pretty. This is actually probably, I would say, a little bit more modern than the other few containers that I showed you. But that's okay. I like a healthy mix of all styles. I'm sure that I've mentioned this before, but what I love the most about tapping on glass is that it almost sounds like raindrops are pittering and pattering onto the glass. First very slow, like a drizzle, and then faster, like a thunderstorm without the thunder. So, that is this container. This one's familiar because I have done a few segments of ASMR Unfiltered focused on Birchbox, but I promise you I won't show you makeup products or anything. But I actually really like the simplicity of this box. It's just very simple, but you can also put like letters in it or postage. Or just pens. I think when all the contents, because I still haven't used all of the contents in here, in fact I've hardly used any of them, but I would eventually like to put my calligraphy pens into here and my ink, and I will certainly love to write. Not to say that I'm any sort of expert, not to say that I'm an expert at all in the ways of calligraphy, but it's just kind of fun to write with calligraphy pens. So This is another nice looking but still very practical little box. This was originally a container for business cards. If you can see, there's just a little tear right here. Maybe you can't see it, but there's a little tear where the business card was placed, so you could see what the business card looked like. And I have since converted it into a battery holder because, well, my Zoom H4n, which is what I record with, at least it's the interface, goes through batteries so quickly. That may or may not be because I leave the recorder on after I've finished recording, and I leave it on all night, but I don't think that's it. But yeah, so it holds all of my batteries, and I don't know, I just like the way it looks. I thought about labeling it with a marker, but then I thought, oh, what if I change my mind and then I'll have to have something inaccurately written and it doesn't really contain that item anymore. So I know that it's batteries, and that's all I need to know. And that's all who needs to know. But I kind of like the texture that's on this. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it kind of? It's kind of like a faux snake skin. I like it. So there's that. The next container, which I really love, is this little zipper bag. Once again, just like the first container, it has all kinds of travel-esque paraphernalia on it, I guess you'd call it. It has little stamps here, and I just love it. Plus it's very crinkly, which I really like as well. I actually use it for keeping all of my thoughts. And yes, that's a real thing. I often think about things I'm not supposed to think about when I'm at work, and an idea will just pop into my head, or when I'm doing research I happen to stumble upon a really wonderful quote that I want to remember. So I write it down on a little post-it note, and I put it in here. I see a quote here. It's stuck to another post-it note. Here we go. I find it fascinating that most people plan their vacation with better care than they do their lives. Perhaps that's because escape is easier than change. Jim Rohn, good quote to me. And it's always a constant reminder that going to escape is not really a solution. But anyway, I just have all kinds of thoughts and ideas in this little bag. Love this one. Next one. I'll just show this one really fast. It was featured in my sleepy time bath video. Had a bunch of bath salts in it at the time, but if you know me, you know how much I like a good bath, and thus there are no more bath salts left in this container. But I'm just such a fan of glass containers, especially if they are topped off with a cute little cork. So that's that one. This one has a higher timbre than the first glass square container I showed you, though. It still sounds like rain. I love it. This is pretty funny. This used to contain flaxseed oil gel pills. And I don't know, I just really liked the container. I knew that I could put something in it that, I don't know, like cotton balls or Q-tips or something. So I took off the label with some lemon oil and voila! That's all it is. I really prefer containers that don't have any writing on them unless, you know, they're purposely meant like unless they're you know, like the travel ones. It said My Darling Planet Earth, but of course I'm okay with that. The Birchbox, I would prefer for it to not say Birchbox on it, but it's still a lovely box, and so I'll keep it all the same. Now, the last container that I'm going to show you today, it's a very simple container. There's nothing special about it. It just happens to be last. And this is yet another recycled container. It was originally Eclipse gum, a little winter mint gum holder, and it had the plastic wrap all over it, and it had the, the label on top. But I just thought that the container was so cute, and I really didn't want to get rid of it. I go through gum really quickly, and I originally threw these away, but then when I saw how useful they were, I thought, no, there's a much better use for this. And so now I have my thumbtacks and safety pins inside of it. And I find that that is much better than a plastic bag, since the thumbtacks are obviously very sharp and could poke through the plastic bag. But I really like this. I'm so glad that I kept it. I have 2 of them so far. Well, I have all kinds of containers, but those are just the main ones that I wanted to share with you today. I hope that you enjoyed this segment of ASMR Unfiltered Collections Edition. And yeah, maybe it will inspire you to recycle some containers or keep some containers that maybe have a really interesting history that you can daydream about when you're supposed to be working. No, I can't advocate that. But yeah, I can. Go ahead and do it. Have a wonderful, restful, peaceful day or night. And I hope that you'll join me again